See if we got anything in here. Oh my god. I could cry. Good morning. So, last night, Carlo called shelter. It was okay. It's a little far off trail. It's like 0.3 down a rocky descent, so I don't think I'd stay there again just because it's so far off trail and it's so steeply off trail. Today is going to be a big day for a few reasons. One, I'm going to cross into New Hampshire. Should do that in the next half hour. Two, I've planned a 19 mile day for myself. I want to try and get to Rattle River Shelter, which is, yeah, pretty far, but I have some friends who are going to pick me up in Pinkham Notch. Dan and Steph. Elise and I met them in college, so they're some college friends, and yeah, we're close with them, and they're going to let me stay at their house, so huge thank you to Dan and Steph. But yeah, I'd like to get to them as quick as possible, so I'm going to try to get to them in 2 days. So I'm going to try and do 2 big days. And yeah, getting to Rattle River Shelter today is the first step in that process, so we'll see if I can do it. I know I'm up at a reasonable hour when I'm hitting spider webs on the trail, so no one has walked through this section yet today. So I got the trekking poles out, which does help a little bit, but it also gets a little annoying to do. I don't know if I mentioned it on the last video. There's so much content in there. I don't know if it made it in. The Appalachian Mountain Club manages this section of trail. You can tell, you've seen some of the signs, that they're painted white. The MATC, which is Maine Appalachian Trail, I think club, managed the section in Maine. Yeah, actually, just on the last sign, someone wrote on it, AMC hates poor people. And I think the sentiment is coming from, it's kind of more, this section of trail is definitely more expensive. You have to pay for the campsites. It's $10 for a thru-hiker the first time you stay, and then $5 after. The huts, which I will show, are very expensive. I think like at least $150 a night. So for most thru-hikers, they price this out. But on the other side, I understand it because these are remote places. It takes a lot of money to keep these things running, and there's a lot of people who come through. So, yeah, I think there's like an argument on both sides, but I think the sentiment among thru-hikers is that this is just a more expensive place, and other portions of the trail we don't have to pay for camping. But yeah, just figured I'd share that with you because that is part of the trail. People talk about it, and obviously people are writing on the signs, which I don't really support, but you know, that sentiment is out here. Well, I made it. You can see up there. I'm at the New Hampshire state line, so that is like such an accomplishment. I'm like soaring right now. Yeah, I know it's like just one state crossed off, but it's Maine, you know, getting through Maine in under a month. It was a huge effort. And especially after, like, I was not feeling good after the 100-mile wilderness, so the thought of getting all the way to the New Hampshire line, and I've lived in New Hampshire, and you know, I love the mountains here. And yeah, I have just a lot of memories with Elise here, so getting to this state means a lot. Yeah, so I guess I'm just really proud of myself. Yeah, I think that's kind of the main feeling, just very proud. Yeah, in just getting here. So I know it's the first state of many, but it was a big state and a hard one. So yeah, just really proud of what I've done so far. So this is not an easy climb to start my day. I think this is going up Mount Success. Yeah, it's just boulders. So I just had breakfast on Mount Success, and I'm getting my first really unobstructed view of the presidentials, so that is what we're looking at right here. And you can see Washington in the middle, and then Adams and Madison on the right. So I'm on my descent from Mount Success. Man, I am very happy that I didn't do this yesterday. I think it's kind of a sign of some of the changes in my decision making. If this was 100-mile wilderness, you know, whatever the route I planned the night before, I was like gonna do it. And now, you know, I think after Mahoosuc Notch yesterday, my legs were definitely a little more wobbly. I was like tripping around a little bit, and I was like, you know, I'm calling it a day. And coming down this today, this is very steep, and I'm still 1.5 miles away from the shelter that I was going to try and go to last night. So good call on not trying to push it. This section of trail's been really overgrown. I'd say it's been overgrown kind of like all day. Just where you're walking like through stuff, and it's all over you. Today's definitely been a little tougher for me. Yeah, I just know I got a few big days ahead of me. Sorry, I feel like I'm always changing hands now because my arms just get tired from holding the camera. Yeah, also, there's been I haven't seen a SOBO hiker in 3 days. Which is crazy, because up until that point, there's a ton of us. So, I mentioned Gourmet and Shira a few times. My guess is myself, Gourmet, and Shira just kind of outpaced that little bubble. But they're like half a day in front of me still. So, yeah, but I thought by now maybe I'd hit like someone else, but 0. And I'm not making that up. There's been 0 SOBOs at the last 3 campsites, and I have not seen one SOBO hiker. So yeah, it's a little rough not hiking with anybody for 3 days when pretty much the whole time before I'd be hiking in and out with people the whole time. So yeah, it's a little rough. So before I forget, 2 people so far have chipped in and given me a little money So I just want to give him a shout out. So Kyle, he used the buy me a coffee thing on my videos. Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate it. It will probably go all to food at the next town that I go to. And Aaron and Maddie, so they're I know them very well. So thank you, Aaron and Maddie. Glad you're liking the videos and supporting me, and yeah, probably you know, gonna use it for food. But if you have ideas of food that you'd like for me to buy with the money and then eat on trail, let me know. Yeah, definitely new to me, like putting things in there to ask for like money for support, but it does help because I did quit my job, and you know, I do have savings for this, but I'm trying to do this on pretty tight budget. So every little bit definitely helps. So thank you to Kyle and to Aaron and Maddie. One thing that's been a little funny is that like I can smell like clean hikers. Like today I'm only a few miles from the road to town, and all the AT hikers coming from town just like smell like laundry detergent and fresh things. I'm like 4-ish days off trail since my last shower. But like when you're out here and someone walks by and they're clean, you can totally smell it. So yeah, it's just really funny. I don't think I have, like, it's not something I would pick up before through hiking, but now being out here, it happens. You can definitely smell it. So this is the trail. Obviously a huge blowdown. I think there's a little side one. But this has been going on like all day. Not only is the trail like overgrown here, there's blowdowns that like are just not clear. So I don't know if there was like a big storm recently, or if this is what I should just expect in New Hampshire, but yeah, it just makes it like way slower. Like you can see like my legs and stuff. That's from today. Yeah, got a few like on the other side. That's just because the trail's overgrown, and it's just like scrapes the side of your legs, and it's like consistently. It's not like, I wouldn't complain if it was one spot, but it's been consistently all day. So I know I've mentioned like multiple times that I've lived in New Hampshire, but never given people a full story of like why, you know, where I lived, what I know about New Hampshire. So my fiance Elise took a job there a few years ago in the Lakes region. And we got a house like right on Lake Winnipesaukee. Shout out to our old landlord, Dennis and Melissa, who we actually still like keep in touch with. They're good people. Yeah, so we kind of were renting this lakefront house from them, and we did that for a little bit. I was working around in a few different libraries, and then you know, I took a job in Washington DC, so I moved down there. At least we were kind of like living separately for a little bit, which was tough. Then the pandemic hit, and I moved back up to New Hampshire during telework because I could telework. So there we lived, still in Lake Winnipesaukee, but in like a little cabin. And then we finally moved back down to Virginia. But yeah, when we were living in New Hampshire, we loved it there. I think that's where I like fell in love with hiking. So it was only about an hour up to the White Mountains. So I was doing a lot of the big hikes there, and yeah, that's what kind of got me going with hiking and backpacking, and now it's led into a thru-hike. So I'll tell more tomorrow about like hiking 4,000 footers, because there's some good stories there, and there's some 4,000 footers in New Hampshire that I still have to do. Yeah, but I'll save that for tomorrow. Alright, so I have some New Hampshire blueberries. Let's see how these are. Hold on. Not bad. Given the edge to Maine. We'll see. I'm gonna have to keep eating. Luckily, they're still kind of like all over the place here. So, yeah, edge is still to Maine right now. So I'm gonna have to keep testing them. See if New Hampshire can come a little closer. But yeah, Maine blueberries, they're the best. So I'm descending about a mile away from Gorham, and yeah, you can tell like some forest fires ripped through here. I'm not sure if they're ones from this year. I remember seeing like some things about fires coming through the White Mountains, but I'm not sure if it was this area, so I'll have to check. But yeah, this whole region, you can tell, has recently been through some fires. Alright, so I'm off trail for a little bit. Walking across the bridge over the Androscoggin River, and there's a car coming. A little dangerous. Yeah, pretty cool views though. Last time I thought I jinxed myself. Let's see if I didn't say anything this time, but let's see if we got anything in here. Oh my god. I could cry. It's like, oh my god. It could be like, it's been like 80, 90 degrees today, and the last 3 water sources were all dry, so oh my. Let's see if there's a note. No. Well, thank you so much to whoever did this. I'm gonna crush a few of these. Oh my god. I really needed that. I really did. Best trail magic of the trip so far. So I think I'm now in White Mountain National Forest, so I have not seen any signs, so I think this is the first one. Forgot my trekking poles. I think I'm still in a delirium from the Coca-Cola. Man, that's, they're not having anything like carbonated and sugary for like a few days, and probably being a little dehydrated. Actually, definitely dehydrated. Like pounding 3 of those Cokes. I'm like buzzing right now. Well, it should be able to get me to the campground, that's for sure. Alright, so I think I'm very close to the shelter for tonight. Talked to one guy on the way up. He said there could be hail. At least that's what he saw in the weather, so I'm gonna hang out in the shelter, see how it goes. But overall, today was tough. There's no water out there. So thankful for the trail magic. Yeah, it was just overgrown. Kind of tough to like stretch your legs and take normal strides, but you know, I can't complain. I killed it. It was like 19 miles, and I'm strolling into camp at like 5:30. So I think I left around 7 or so. So yeah, I killed it. Tomorrow's gonna be a huge day, so stay tuned for a very long, very steep day into the White Mountains. Thanks for watching.